Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session of LitFest X. We are joined with Kanika Thalan, who is an Indian film dialogue writer and screenwriter known for her works in Bollywood. She's written novels as well. Her first novel was Bombay Duck is a Fish. And today she's also going to be discussing with us her recent novel, The Dance of Durga. Welcome to LitFest X, Kanika.
Pleasure to be here, Kumar. Looking forward to our chat.
Kanika, tell us about the migration and how you're working together on both writing screenplays, dialogues, as well as long novels, and how are you juggling between these two?
So, for me, the dream was to be an author and write novels, and films happened and screenplays happened after I started working in Mumbai. I was studying in LSC, finishing my post graduation. Came to Mumbai to do some groundwork for my thesis. Met somebody in Red Chillies and showed them my work. I'd written a collection of short stories published by an organization, primarily for internal circulation, because it was stories on rural Indian women. That person was the CEO of Red Chillies Entertainment then, Mr. Bobby Chawla, and he thought that I should come into the industry, and instead of writing novels, I remember having this chat with him, and he's like, writing novels is great, and it's a lot of satisfaction, yes, but seeing your stories come alive on the big screen and reaching out to that kind of an audience is another heady dream altogether, and you should think about it. So while he told me all those things and I got very excited, he forgot to mention the detail that I'll have to start from scratch and learn everything about filmmaking, and a long arduous journey, because I did not have an education in filmmaking. I did not have a theoretical background, so where do I start? And of course, while he was giving me all this encouragement, he did not tell me that I have to start as an intern. And what does an intern do? Now, in my head, an intern means soaking up all the knowledge about filmmaking, getting to the heads of these directors that I'm going to be working with, and getting into the head of Mr. Shah Rukh Khan himself, who's supposed to be this, very intelligent, very creative, very inspiring man. Armed with all these dreams and ambitions, I've started my journey as an intern and told my parents that, London and a job in London can wait. This is what I need to do. And of course, eventually I'll get to write my book as well, but I need to figure out films. And I think my first month was a blur, because let alone getting into anyone's head or knowing about anyone's opinions or anything about filmmaking for that matter, I was doing photocopying and a lot of paperwork, which didn't really make sense to me. And I remember talking to my sister and saying, if my mother got to know what I'm doing after a degree from LSC, she'd come and beat me up. So, that was a joke that was going around. And of course, we joke about it. But eventually, I got to a place where a lot of learning did happen, and I was on the sets. I participated or assisted in various departments, be it assisting a director or from a production point of view. Did over 50 ad films with different kind of filmmakers produced by Red Chillies Entertainment. Stayed in that company for 5 years. Worked on films like Om Shanti Om, Billu Babar, Ravan. And it was literally a sort of a university to get to know the whole process of filmmaking, the medium that we call films, up close and personal, everything that goes behind the scenes. And I think I would have worked in every department on a film set, in the pre-production, while on the set, post-production. So it was a great, great learning and education. And while I was going through this, that whole thing of wanting to be able to write a novel and, tell the stories that I was learning, the yearning was there, always there, while I was gathering all the knowledge, information, educating myself in the process of filmmaking. I realized that while I'm on set, there are beautiful, amazing stories that happen while you make a film. It's not just the story that you see on the screen. The actual making of a film is a beautiful story in itself, and with amazing characters who are all wanting to, all chasing the dream, all wanting to do something better in their lives. And nobody wants to give up, because the kind of determination that they have, be it a spot boy, be it a junior artist, be it the assistant directors, and each one on that set wanted to do better, and each one had a dream. So I was so exciting, and it was ripe to tell a story. And I decided that why not? If I'm here in the on the set, I'm seeing all this determination, this kind of beautiful stories. I need to be able to write all that in a novel, and that's how the idea of Bombay Duck is a Fish started. I remember I was shooting for Om Shanti Om, and the set was full of amazing characters, and it was just the correct time for me to get pen to paper, and I started writing my first novel. And by the time, before in fact Ravan released, my book was out. And the transition actually, as life planned, it happened simultaneously. While I was into films, I started writing novels. And in fact, it fed into each other in a way. And of course, and then I just moved, I started, so Bombay Duck is a Fish was my first novel. And then I went on to explore other genres. That was a satire, again, on the film industry and underbelly of the industry. Wanted to explore science fiction for young adults, because many people would complain that our kids are, growing up on Harry Potters, and we have so many superheroes. So why not Indian superheroes? So in that whole zone of trying to do something in science fiction, I wrote Shiva and the Rise of the Shadows, and then my third novel eventually with HarperCollins, Dance of Durga, just came out 3 months ago. Love story, and explores the world of a god woman, how a rural village girl from Punjab goes on to become the biggest god woman in the country, and what it takes to reach there, and then what it takes to destroy it. So I've been fortunate that I've had these opportunities to be able to write these stories between the covers, and fortunate to have those opportunities to write stories for the big screen. So I intend to, the journey has been great. I would say I've found a voice as I went along, and the voice that you'll see in, say, A Bombay Duck is a Fish is completely different from what you'll hear in the Dance of Durga. And I feel that's life teaching you, and that's me growing up. After my stint with the Red Chillies, I moved on and I worked with Balaji Telefilms, worked with Times of India, and then decided that, instead of doing studio jobs and instead of putting films together, I knew enough about the medium to be able to write my own screenplays. And now, as we speak currently, I full-time divide my time between screenplay writing and novel writing.
Very interesting.
That's a long story.
No, but it's a very interesting one, Kanika. When you were talking about how the passion, the ambition, and the energy on sets, during the course of various films you were working on, have you taken elements of that ambition, that feistiness, and brought it into your new book, Dance of Durga?
Dance of Durga actually is a completely different landscape. Bombay Duck is a Fish was, I thought of it, the germ came from the underbelly of Bollywood. I was in that situation, and a lot was taken from the surroundings. But Dance of Durga, I'd say, is a completely different landscape altogether. It starts from rural Punjab, of Gurdaspur, the village in Punjab, which again is a comfort zone for me because I come from Punjab, and it gives me that comfort to start a story there. And then I take that leap, and then my character goes all over in terms of geography, in terms of emotions, in terms of the scale. It's a very passionate tale of a woman who questions fate, who questions love, who redefines power. She's as an act of vengeance towards God, she starts selling him in the marketplace. So the plot and the story is larger than life, yes, but the characters that you'll see in her journey, be it the people that my character's name is Rajjo in Dance of Durga, people that she meets, be it in the ashram, be it around her, her siblings, they are people that I have drawn from, or I have built on from the people that I meet in real life. And, you can't escape that, each one of us as a writer draws heavily from our environment and our surroundings, and people that we meet, interesting stories that we hear, moments that we share and experience. So I'd say yes, Dance of Durga in a way is drawn heavily from a lot of people that have influenced me or have inspired me, or even made I've found them interesting enough to remember, interesting enough to build on their character traits and make a character in my book out of that. And of course, the flip side is that people around me now they know that I use them. So now the disclaimer goes, hey, don't tell her your personal story. You'll find it in one of her books. But, that's, you can't escape it. I try to camouflage it as much as I can. And there are times when I would like to, there's one particular character in my book, Dance of Durga, which I heavily borrowed from one of my friends. And I was wishing that she doesn't read it because she'll absolutely come and kill me. But, we do those things. We steal ideas and emotions from real life, and we kind of build on them, and then we present it in a way. And then, but it's all for a larger good, which is telling the story, and at the end of the day, making one go on this journey, an inspiring journey at that. So I think all's fair in the genre of writing.
Right. But well, thank you for warning me about not sharing any personal stories with you. I'm just making a note. I'm just making a note as you said that. So in your process of writing, a novel which is obviously a much longer sort of piece of work, right? In purely in terms of the number of words which you need to write, right?
Yes.
Vis-a-vis a script, right? And do you find yourself then doing a different level of research or following a different discipline? And I'm asking this question more for all our viewers who are maybe today contemplating a career in either, and what are the differences since you're straddling both worlds at the same time?
So, I'll divide this question into two parts. First part, I'll tell you from an emotional standpoint, because as writers, we're very emotional people. And it's a very important, in fact, more than structure, I would like to talk about emotion first.
Sure.
That, as a novelist, the sense of self-expression is tremendous. And the kind of satisfaction that you get through this self-expression is unparalleled. You will not find it in writing a screenplay, simply because you are not the sole creator of that product or that story. The director is going to come in, and the director is going to take that story away, and the director is going to interpret it the way he wants, and you will not be able to do anything because your job is done. You've written the script and you've given it to the director. So in case you are very particular that this is the way I need to tell my stories, and you want to write a screenplay, then might as well get into direction and tell your story completely, But if you're willing to let go, if you're aware that in this medium, if I choose the medium of screenplay writing, I will be writing the entire piece, and there's a team that will come in. I'll give you a little example. For example, when I have to write about a character in a novel, everything from what the character is wearing, how the character feels, what the character does, what is the subtext of what the character feels, I can write in prose. I have all the time in the world. Beautifully, I can sip on a glass of coffee and write, and I can go on writing. There's no one to stop me except my editor, of course. And that also I can negotiate that, I need to be able to express this in these many words or these many paragraphs. But in a screenplay, I don't have that liberty. All I'm supposed to do in a screenplay is just talk about the action, tell the audience what's happening in the story, the mood, the clothes, the emotion. Other people step in, your costume designer, your set designer, your director. So it's a teamwork, and it has a lot of interpretations. Your written word will have multiple interpretations as a screenplay writer. So That is the emotional aspect of it. Coming to the structure of it, because the medium it's self-explanatory. A novel is written in prose. I have 300 pages, 300 plus pages to tell my story. Screenplay is a visual medium. I have 90 pages, 90 to 100 pages to tell my story. Of course, brevity is the key. Novel, I have to painstakingly make a sentence look beautiful, and sometimes I will work on one sentence for half a day. And of course, my husband would look at me and say, what? Because, I'm trying to structure it in this way, that way, shift toward here, shift toward there. Yeah, that's it's right. One sentence, I want to make it perfect. Screenplay, no one cares how beautiful my sentence is. No one cares. What they need is, what is the story? What is the plot? What are the characters saying? In fact, if I go into detail of, if I want to describe, if I write a descriptive screenplay, it may not even be considered a well-written screenplay, because screenplay is about action. It's about, your sentences have to be brief. They can be grammatically incorrect, no problem. They have to be brief. They have to basically convey what action is happening, what story is moving, and what and the dialogue will tell what the character is thinking. So structurally, these are very basic differences which at one level all of you are aware about. But if you go a little deeper in this, if you go into the craft of novel and screenplay, I'd say that when you actually go down to writing a screenplay, you have to think very visually. You have to only write what can be seen and what can be heard on screen. Whereas in a novel, you can just go into whichever space you want. You can go into the characters' multiple personalities. You can basically go crazy, do what you want. There are no rules per se in a novel. That there is nothing that tells you that you cannot write about this, or you can't, or you can write about that. Screenplay, you follow rules. You know that you need to mention what is going to be seen on the screen. So that is one key aspect. And of course, more in terms of actual language, you in a screenplay you'll use more verbs, evocative verbs that describe the action as briefly as possible. Whereas in a novel, like I said, you can carve out every sentence and take your time doing it. And hence that satisfaction that you're actually building that world and creating it in words is much more. Having said that, writing a screenplay, I wouldn't say it's lesser satisfying as a creative person, no, because when I see my story come alive on screen, when I see my characters saying my dialogues, when I see that, yes, I plotted this, and that's why he's fighting, or he's dying, or he's killing, or he's losing his head because I made him do that, that's amazing too. And when you see the audience responding to it, the whole high of being in a cinema hall and seeing that film play out, the biggest high is not actually seeing, for a writer, I'd say, very personal, but I mean, it could be different for other people. When I see that film playing on screen, the biggest high for me is looking at the audience who's watching it. When I see them smile where I wanted them to smile, or if I'm really lucky, when I see them laughing out, when you hear them laugh at your jokes, I'm telling you, there's nothing, that's a beautiful, perfectly beautiful moment, and you live to do those things, create those moments. So satisfaction is immense even in that medium. It just depends on what kind of a personality you have, A. B, what kind of stories would you like to tell, and C, are you okay with having your work interpreted by another technician, another director, or would you want the readers to read what you have created personally and in a very direct, have a very direct relationship with your audience? And of course, having a command on language, you need it more when you're writing a novel. That goes without saying. So I'm not getting into the basic things. I'm just, elucidating on things perhaps that you'd like to know. If you're doing both things, what are the moments that you cherish and what you need to look into?
So those are some brilliant insights, not just into the process, but what really a person puts into it in terms of your heart and your mind and what you expect.
Because Kumar, that if the process you can actually Google.
Absolutely.
Today everything is available on the internet, and your viewers can actually Google and figure out
Sure.
rules to write a novel, rules to write a screenplay.
Absolutely.
What I think I would be able to share is my experience, which is that
Absolutely.
what heartaches I suffer. I'm telling you, it's not easy when the director looks at the script and says, useless scene, cut it. You know, your blood boils, your heart burns, you fight tooth and nail. And you have to let it go. You have to let, you know, I think it's rightly said, kill your darlings, kill your darlings, kill your screenplay. You have to be ready for murder and butchery. There's no other way to
put it. That brings me to my final question, that are we going to see you combine these activities, which is write a novel which is going to be then made into a screenplay for a movie? Are we going to see that soon?
You know, I so far what I've been doing is I've been enjoying the fact that I can do both. I can write a novel and I can write a screenplay, and hence I can tell different stories in different mediums. So I'm enjoying that. But if I come across a story that I feel that I want to be able to write between the covers and then tell the same story on the big screen, why not? But till I find that story, I think I'm going to be happy writing different stories for different mediums.
Great, great. I'm sure you will find that very soon, since you draw inspiration from everything around you. I'm sure you'll find that very soon. And with that, we'll bring this session to an end. And thank you so much for being so candid and eloquent about various aspects of your work. And wish your book all the success.
Thank you so much, Kumar.